Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight. Now, if you've got an interview ahead of you for the police recruitment process, or you're actually a serving police officer already and at some point in the future you know you're going to have an interview board for a specialist position or for promotion, then pin your ears back folks, this video is for you. So I wanted to share some learning, and I know if you watch my videos consistently, you'll know that this is some learning that I share all the time, but I'm going to keep on sharing it until it starts bedding in. And that's the importance in your interview answer of not just talking about what you did, but how you did it. This is so important. This is the detail that's going to make the difference between a really high score or a low score that's going to fail you. So I'm going to give you some live examples actually from some one-to-one coaching I've just finished doing, and the individual won't mind me sharing it because you'll never be able to identify them, and also from an interview preparation webinar that I ran last night with actually a smallish group. It was awesome. Everyone got the opportunity to practice. So, and by the way, if you'd like to find out more about those services, then check the links below. And all of those individuals are part of the two awesome Facebook groups that I've got running. One of them is for potential police officers. That's been running for 5 years now. It's got almost 16,000 members. The other one has only been running for about 5 or 6 weeks, and it's for serving police officers for their development. And there's almost 3,000 members of that group, which is just growing really quickly. Incredible. So let me give you a few examples here. Now, we talk about using a structured process for your answers. I like the SALCU method. It's something that I came up with because I don't like STAR. I just don't think it's detailed enough. And I think task and action kind of confuses people. So we're looking at you describing your situation specifically and the impact on others if the problem wasn't addressed, as opposed to the task describing your aim, because then you can talk about the options that you considered to achieve that aim and why you chose the option that you chose. And then the important part is the action phase, where people describe what they did, but they don't describe how they did it. So I'm just going to focus on that bit in this video. So in the one-to-one coaching previously, it was about a integrity question. Can you tell me about a time when you've done the right thing, even when doing nothing would have been the easier option? Very standard question that. Could also be worded as, can you tell me about a time when you've challenged someone's inappropriate behaviour? Very standard question for the police recruitment process. Great example, by the way. Awesome example. But the really important stuff was missing. So they talked about how they spoke in private with the individual who they challenged. They spoke to the person involved, the person who was upset by the language. They had a word in private with their manager, and how their colleague was angry about the transaction, about everything that had taken place, and how they managed to get things back together with them and have a more comfortable relationship. So great example, but how did they do speak? I spoke in private. How did you do spoke? How did you spoke to the person involved? How did you do having a word in private? In the answer, they want detail. They want detail. Now, I can probably guess what I spoke to the person involved but I don't know. And unless you tell me in the interview answer, I'm never going to know. And this is really important, really important. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you might be watching this on YouTube or Facebook, then search for the video I put together. I called it the 7 levels of how. And I did this with the individual, and eventually, they described the sort of questions they asked, how they actually challenged the individual, going back to the sort of questions they asked, how they reacted to the anger, how they managed that anger, how they asked further questions, how they actually got to the point where they said they're going to have to report it or you report it. And it's full of lovely, rich detail, and that's what's going to get you the pass. Does that make sense? Similarly, last night, same question actually, an integrity question. It was I took quite a direct approach with the individual concerned. Well, how did you do direct approach? Because I don't know what that is. And then the person who is being made fun of, I took a gentle approach with them. Well, what does that mean? How did you do gentle approach? Going back to, I took a gently step-by-step process. How did you do gently step-by-step process? You see where I'm coming from, folks? I've got loads more in front of me here, but I'm not going to go through them all because it's all the same message. I want to hear more about how you did something, not your bold claim of what you did. I don't care what the other books out there say about, use phrases from the competency and values framework. So you'd start talking about how you dealt with them in an emotionally aware way, how you delivered what was expected of you, inspiring others, and how you supported people along the way. Don't just start using phrases from the competency and values framework. That's not going to get you through, especially if it's a final in-force interview, because honestly, you're just going to sound like I'm not going to say it on the video, but you know what I mean, don't you? So, let's keep it authentic, keep it emotional, keep it structured in a detailed way. And it's that detail that's important, folks. Well, listen, I hope you've found this useful. And again, a reminder, if you're not part of the Facebook groups, then, join, you're missing out. These groups are awesome. In the Police Recruitment Facebook group, just to give you an example, last month there were over 40,000 posts, comments and reactions. Can you imagine? I can't keep up with it. But thankfully we've got some awesome moderators. So hopefully you've got something out of this, folks. Let me know in the comments, give it a like, give me a thumbs up, whatever it is that you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it might be. I'm not really up to, or subscribe. Is that what you meant to do? Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, like it, whatever. Press a load of buttons, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye for now.